Well, in my own life, there was a personal experience that I can say changed my life, even though at the time that I considered myself a failure, I didn't realize it was going to. I was interviewing at the Medical College of Georgia for the medical school. Their interview process has 2 interviewers done separately. I had felt really good about my first one because I was a chemistry major and he was a biochemist. So we talked about all sorts of carbon compounds and radicals and things like that. And I walked out of there saying, yes, I've got it. Then I walked into the next interview session and it was a pathologist. And he came in and said, Mr. Stanton, glad to have you here. And I said, well, Dr. Shepard, it's good to be here. He handed me a sheet of paper and he says, which of these books have you read? 23 books. I found one of them, Tom Sawyer or something. And I think by that time he didn't believe I'd even read that one. And he says, well, tell me about it. So I told him about him. And I couldn't quite even then figure out where he was going with it. That was his last question. His next statement to me was, Mr. Stanton, now this is after 5 minutes of an hour. Mr. Stanton, if you don't get accepted, I would suggest you read these books. There's more to medicine than just science books. Well, of course, I left, as they say, with your tail between your legs. I was headed back to see my mom and dad, and I told them, I said, you know, I think I failed that interview. Well, I don't know what happened. I got accepted. 4 years passed. Last week of classes, I walked by and knocked on Dr. Shepard's door. He says, well, Mr. Stanton, says, I'm glad to see you here. I'm glad you're going to graduate this week. And I says, yes, sir. I says, but you changed my life in a different way. He says, what? I handed him the exact same sheet back. I put a red check by 23 books that I'd read. And so from that failure, which I thought was of the greatest magnitude in the world at the time, of course it would not have been very significant to anybody else, I learned how to improve, how to be a better person, a better physician, a better learner. And so when I think about our own students, if between day one, or at least the day we interview them, and the day they graduate and get their diploma, if there's something really growing in their life, then we've done something good by them.
Right.